Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Friday morning. It is the 19th day of May 2023. This is the morning briefing on your Friday morning, getting you ready for the weekend and the weather we can expect. We are still looking at the chance of some thunderstorms for the Sierra, especially over the weekend, and I'll show you the differences in the models that we're looking at there, and we'll also take a look at next week. Next week looks as though it is going to bring a round of some cooler weather. Temperatures trending closer to average. Average for this time of year for the valley is around 82. Next week that goes to 83. But instead this week we've been up around 90 to 94. Before that, the first 10, 11 days of this month, we saw temperatures in the 60s and 70s. So we've been all over the place around average this month, either well above or well below. But it looks as though next week we will trend closer to average. So we'll take a look at that. But I first want to look at a couple of things this morning. The first one is the satellite. Looks great this morning. Deep marine layer along the coast, as you can see here. And really well defined into some of the middle part of the valleys, as you can see here. So really nice. Look at that. Into Napa, into much of Sonoma County, and well down into the San Jose area too. Now, the other thing I want to point out, of course, we have clear skies in the Sierra, but if we widen out a little bit, this is the smoke. I talked about this yesterday from the fires burning in Alberta, and you can see how extensive it is over Idaho, over eastern Nevada, even over Salt Lake City and places like that, and it's even down into Oregon. So this is getting pretty close to our area. And as you can see, man, it's really extensive over Wyoming and points east, man. So there's a lot of smoke, and this even goes well back even farther to the east than that. So yeah, it's right here. It's very close to our area, but instead Northern California has blue sky. Well, let's take a look at the steering currents and what's going to be happening there to influence where that smoke is going to go and what's going to happen with our weather. Okay, so the fires are burning up in here, and what we have is, see the flow here? Flow coming this way. So this is how that smoke is drifting down over Idaho and down over Utah. But then if you look back here, see how the winds are southwest coming riding up over the ridge? So that's how we have southwesterly winds and helping to steer that smoke away. So that's where we are right now. As we head through the weekend, there's that southwesterly flow continuing. And then as we head into, especially into next week and the weekend, a little trough going by will help to maybe even clear the skies over Idaho, but certainly leaving Northern California out of the smoke. And this will also help to lower the temperatures a little bit as we go through the weekend. Mid-80s for the most part, but we'll also have the chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Now, we're going to get into next week here. This is Monday, and this developing trough here is eventually going to drop our way like this. So this is why we're talking about some cooler weather next week. This is next Tuesday night. We have a deep low here, colder air coming in, more of that southwesterly wind. We may even get temperatures cooler than average. We might even see daytime highs in the 70s for a while next week. So for those of you that haven't enjoyed the temperatures at 90 or higher in the valley this week, next week is going to be different. This is getting into the middle part of next week. There may even be some showers associated with this, but right now the models aren't really indicating anything in the way of widespread rain. But don't be surprised if we see some showers, especially in the mountains. And I'll take this even farther down the road because this is getting into Friday and I'll get into Saturday, because this will be the beginning of Memorial Day weekend. So this is your sneak peek at Memorial Day weekend. Cool weather with troughing and probably mountain showers. Now, I know a lot of the campgrounds above 5,000 feet may or may not be open, or especially above 6,000 feet. But for those of you that are planning on camping for Memorial Day weekend, do not plan on it being sunny and warm, and there may even be some mountain showers that we have to deal with. So yeah, that's all the way into Memorial Day with a deep low over our area, keeping temperatures a little bit cooler. All right, let's take a look at the thunderstorms. I'll show you two different models. So this is the HRRR, and I'll tell you, as much as I like the HRRR, it has not been doing very well with our mountain thunderstorms. This is this afternoon. It's showing almost no activity, certainly none around Tahoe, and that's consistent. We aren't expecting anything, but it's showing very little activity in the southern Sierra today. The other models are showing a bit more. We'll see how that plays out. And then as we get into the day on Saturday, This is Saturday around midday, and this is around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Thunderstorms in Reno, that looks good. I think they're going to be a little bit farther to the west as well, maybe into the areas around Portola, and then certainly down the crest of the Sierra, down near Bear Valley on Highway 4 and farther south, but certainly the east side of the Sierra. Highway 395, I think, is going to be a hot spot for thunderstorms this weekend. And some of the clouds will spill down the hill as well. And this won't get out into Sunday, but we will see the same thing on Sunday. All right, so that's that model. Let's look at the NAM Nest model. This one's been a little bit more aggressive, but it's also been a little bit better. So this is the showers today, and this is similar, but at least it shows some activity here today. But today's not really a day we're concerned about with thunderstorms. There'll be some pop-ups, but I don't think it's going to be very much. Then we get into the day on Saturday, and yeah, this is around 3 in the afternoon. This has that line a little bit farther to the west, so that certainly gets into Portola, Susanville, and extending down the crest of the Sierra. There'll be some clouds over Yosemite, but the Yosemite Valley will be dry. And then as we get into the day on Sunday, it shows another line, this time a little bit farther south. That's a little interesting feature there, maybe a little weak trough starting to kick in. But that would help to keep Plumas County and Lassen County maybe out of the threat of thunderstorms, but certainly in the Tahoe Basin, Truckee, Reno, Tahoe, Kirkwood, all getting the chance of thunderstorms on Sunday afternoon. So that's the most concerning thing about the weekend. And, with still all the snow in the Sierra, I don't know how many of you are going to be, hiking out in the Sierra above 7,000 or 8,000 feet. But if you are, just kind of keep your eye on the skies. But other than that, the weekend is going to be terrific in the valley and the foothills with sunshine, a few clouds from time to time, and temperatures running cooler than this week, but in the mid 80s or so. Just a terrific weekend to be outside. So we will see changes next week, though. And as I showed you, it is going to trend toward the cooler weather. And we will be seeing that cooler weather likely last into Memorial Day weekend as well. But that's a feature that we can talk more about as we get into next week. So that's your Friday morning briefing. I hope you make it a great weekend. The next briefing will be either on Sunday night or on Sunday night or Monday morning. And of course, I'll be on KCRA tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 7, and as well as 11, and then on KQCA at 10 o'clock. I shouldn't try to talk fast first thing in the morning. That's it. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.